All I hear is talking, I don't sweat that. If they don't trust me either, I respect that. If she be down the ride, oh, I bet that.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is JH. How you doing, Postal family? Is everybody good? Is everybody cool? Everybody clean? Are you crisp? Are you feeling irie today? Jay is feeling irie. I don't know when you're watching this video, but very important information. So don't change. Don't change it. Don't do it. Fresh, hot off the press, baby. My mans, my peoples up top. They about to trim fat. They let me know they trimming fat. Trimming fat means they not, we was talking about the EAS the other day. Now we talking about our own people. They just walked a couple of people out. I'm sure this is going on nationwide, and maybe you're not paying attention to it. The other day, about maybe a month ago, I told you guys about people getting walked out. They're walking people out. This time, it was for stealing time. Stealing time. So if you feel like you can leave and have your buddy punch you out, they're gonna let it ride for a minute, but then they're gonna catch you. And then they walk you out. And you feel like the union can save you? Well, when they walk you out and they have inspectors walk you out, 9 times out of 10, you're not gonna get your job back. Yeah, the Joy ain't playing, man. He not playing. Cause that was just one instance. Snagged 2 people. The person that did it and the person that asked, for it to be done. Stealing time. Walking people out. Veterans. You hear me? Veterans. Don't do it. Don't do it. They cracking the time theft. They watching. So I know that there's some people that like to be on the clock, then go hang out in your car. Don't do it. They watching. They watching. These orders is coming from the top. Don't do it. Don't do anything that you ain't supposed to do. They walking you out. But that ain't even the nitty gritty. So for the people that I'm gonna try my hardest to keep my opinion out this, but for the people that have been on the disability list, not the ones with the real disabilities, but the ones that bruised their toe 4 years ago and they stayed out for a year, or 5 months ago and they sprained their fingernail. They coming down on you. They hunting you down. Okay, they hunting you down. And this, what they call it? Occupational health services. So for those that don't know, and if you don't know, that means you're probably new and ain't hip to the game yet. You ever notice that one day out the blue, you see people that not there anymore? You're like, what happened to them? Oh, they stepped out of the vehicle and they sprained their ankle. And well, that was like 7 months ago. Yeah, they're still out. Really? Well, if this is you, Jay's not picking on you. I'm giving you some information. This Tuesday, it is starting. If you have FMLA paperwork, and it's not in order, they have a committee set up to make sure they get rid of people. Okay, now it sounds like, oh, well, we got the union to fight for it. If your paperwork isn't set up the correct way and it doesn't get to the correct people. Now, some of us will fill our paperwork out and then we'll give it to our manager or our supervisor and assume that the supervisor is getting it to the right people. Yeah, and it never gets to the right people. It doesn't go to HR. It goes to, I think it's Occupational Health Services. You need to make sure that you cross your I's and dot your T's. I'm not telling anybody to defraud anybody, but if you know if you're doing it and they know. So if you were out and you requesting, FMLA, for your 3-4 days or whatever it is because you're doing XYZ and your paperwork isn't correct, They got the committees with the MPOs, which is the managers over the postmasters, the postmasters, and the station managers, as well as plant managers and their people. They're having full-fledged meetings, committees, to start taking these people and exposing them and getting rid of them. Because again, this man ain't playing no games. For the people that have light duty, if your doctor, some of us say, hey, my doctor did it, and they didn't fill the paperwork out right. You need to keep records. You need to make sure that your records go to your stewards. You need to make sure that your records go to your manager, your supervisor, everybody down the chain of line. And if you got to call human resources yourself and find out where you need to mail documentation, then that's what you need to do. Okay? Because if you don't do it, then it's going to be an issue. It's going to be a full-fledged issue for you. Don't take for granted that they're taking care of business for you, because they're not. And they're cracking down on everyone. There's just people, you acting like you you on light duty because your arm messed up, and you come in, and then all of a sudden you get out and you start driving. They're cracking down on you. That is what is going to happen. It is starting next Tuesday. Today is the 12th. Tuesday is probably the 18th. That is when it's going to start. And if you, for some reason, get pulled into the office and spoken to about it, you can't say that you didn't know. Somebody watching me knows somebody that's doing this right now. And y'all probably like, that's good for them. They just cheating the system. Hey, let them know. Make sure that your paperwork is in order, because if the correct people do not have your paperwork, if your I's are not dotted and your T's are not crossed, they're going to get rid of you. That's what it is. It's considered theft. It's considered fraud. This is the government, and they will get away with it. Remember DeJoy going against Congress and saying he didn't really give a rat's ass what Congress said? He said, you're going to have to I'm going to be here for a long time. That's his mindset. His own company, his own company got rid of the Teamsters. Think about that. He is ready for the fight, and he is going to push back against the union as hard as he can. So if we think that the union is going to protect us, they can protect us to a degree. But there are some clauses to make sure that if you're on your FMLA, you're on your light work duties or whatever it is, that your documentation has to be done correctly. This doesn't apply to everybody, but everybody knows somebody that's utilizing this. So please, again, let me see, out on leave, make sure documents and take for granted you and Occupational turning cracking down on everyone. Yes, that was the news. That was the news. Please don't take it for granted. Occupational health services, do your homework. If you plan to play the game, make sure that you don't think that there's a new sheriff in town, and that son bitch is ruthless. He's trying to come for the throats. He's trimming the fat. He's walking people out for stealing time. He's trying to organize this in his own way. I respect some of the things he does. Although he has a really nasty demeanor behind him, we can appreciate the fact that he's pushing the lazy people out, but still keeping the new. Every way you turn, he making it uncomfortable for people that shouldn't be there. Think about that. Everywhere you turn, he is, for the managers that have been there for so long, he's doing the riffs. So now they have two jobs for the same salary. They don't want it, they're gonna leave. He cutting the fat. He did this with the Rex. The ones that need it will stay. I'm telling you, he cut back on the mail handlers during the last 2 months. The MHAs that were not barely getting any time. The PSCs, he was cutting back on them. He's going after the people for stealing time. He's going after the people that are everywhere you turn. We over here playing checkers. This dude playing chess. Please make sure that your shit is together, because I don't want to be sitting there talking about 2 months from now. Hey, man, when I told y'all about it, man, and this is where we're at. All right? This is JH. Not the best news, but it's news for you. Can't make this stuff up either. We can just come out with stuff. Yeah, I got the connections. You know who you are. This is JH. We out.
Unexpected expenses stressing you out? Get the money you need now with Loans for Feds, a program designed specifically for federal employees. Bad credit is not a problem. Application is fast and easy with same-day approvals. Apply now.